remember, the focus is well-being is a skill. The mission is to build mental flexibility, and for us to all understand that being a neuroninja means using the incredible architecture of the brain to maintain insight into ourselves, and we need to build well-being every day. We are the asset in our life. Your body, brain and mind are your most precious possessions. Your health is your greatest wealth. And if you don't make time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for illness. And the mission of a neuroninja is to deploy intuitive understanding. And if we deploy intuitive understanding, it will protect us from harm until the end of our days. Our mission as a company is to reduce suffering. So today's well-being workout, the question today is, why is it so hard to lose weight? And there are a series of answers to this. The first answer is ultra-processed food, UPF. So let's just talk about ultra-processed food and the whole question of why it's so hard to lose weight. So UPF has got a very precise definition. It is food that tastes amazing. It has been machine tooled to taste incredible. Think of Pringles, think of Kettle Crisps, think of chocolate. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Manufactured to taste great. They sit on shelves and last a long time, and they are designed to maximize consumption. So they're made from easily mass-producible compounds, usually by global food giants. Ultra-processed food, incredibly gorgeous food, tastes incredible, and we often want to eat more of it than we should. So it's a big issue in terms of weight loss. Ultra-processed foods are made from substances that our brain doesn't actually recognize as foods. They are packed densely with calories. We eat more of them than we should, disrupting two hormones that manage our appetite. Everything our body and brain do is managed automatically. Your blood sugar levels are managed automatically. Your body temperature is managed automatically. The process of falling asleep is managed automatically. We can disrupt any of those processes with our lifestyles. The process of eating and feeling satiated is managed automatically. But ultra-processed food, because they're made from chemical substances that are derived from food but aren't actually food, then they don't send the right messages to some of the simple systems that manage hormones in our body that are to do with hunger and satiation. And those two hormones are ghrelin and leptin, and they're linked in a feedback loop. So the basic hormonal processes of hunger and satiation work like this. Ghrelin is a hormone produced by the stomach that increases our appetite. The gastric pits start generating stomach acid and pepsin to digest the food. And then the adipose tissue, which we talked about earlier, generates leptin, which decreases appetite. So when we're feeling full, we've got a lot of leptin being produced, and that reduces our appetite. UPF also causes inflammation. Ultra-processed food causes inflammation. Now, I just need to introduce you to an adipocyte, which is a fat cell, and forgive the biology, but it is quite useful. So you'll remember from GCSE science a basic animal cell, cytoplasm, mitochondria. You might even remember the Golgi apparatus, nucleus, membrane, etc. So you've got basically in an adipocyte an animal cell with a big sac designed to store fat in a big reservoir, and the fat is stored there in particular forms of saturated and unsaturated fat. Adipocytes effectively get bigger and bigger as we eat food, and we can't necessarily use all those calories, so the body stores them. Now, it's a little bit upsetting that it stores them. Why does it store them? It stores them because the body and brain were forged by evolution in ancestral past, where we starved for long periods of time when there might have been droughts and famines, and the herds weren't on the African savannah, and we really struggled to eat. So any food that we had that was surplus, our body stored in these adipocytes. Now, in a time of plenty, UPF and all the wonderful food we've got around us now, that system of storing excess calories as fat becomes a problem. Adipocytes get bigger and bigger as they fill with fat, producing inflammatory signals. They effectively outgrow their blood supply, die and burst, which feels pretty upsetting. Inflammation from those cells crosses the blood-brain barrier, leads to leptin intolerance and insulin intolerance, and the cytokines from inflammation affect the way neurons function by stopping some of the balancing effects of cells called astrocytes at synapses. So what is happening in the body is crossing the blood-brain barrier and disrupting the way we feel, which is rock 3 of the 12 rocks of well-being. That process of those inflammatory chemicals crossing the blood-brain barrier can lead to something called excitocity, which means that neurons keep firing and keep firing and keep firing, and they die as a result of exhaustion, and that impacts on mental flexibility, increasing feelings of anxiety and depression. Next question linked to that whole issue around why is it so hard to lose weight. Next answer: stress increases our appetite. What? Yes. How does stress affect our gut? Well, we kind of know, don't we? The sympathetic nervous system, which activates when we're feeling stressed, shuts down digestion. Now, this goes back to the African savannah, where when you were being chased by a lion or a tiger, you didn't really want to digest your dinner at that point. You needed all the energy to run away. So that's why the digestive system shuts down, because you didn't need to digest food if you were about to become food. Now, this leads us to a situation nowadays, because of the hormones of stress, that 2/3 of us eat more food when we're stressed. We become hyperphagic, and 1/3 of us eat less when we're stressed, hypophagic, neither of which are good situations. Which causes people to be hyperphagic or hypophagic? It depends on the type and duration of stress that we have, and the majority of stresses that we have in the 21st century generate this hyperphagic state. So let's kind of explore that. I just need to introduce you to a couple of hormones. One's called corticotrophin releasing hormone. That stimulates the production of chemicals in the hypothalamus that cause adrenaline and cortisol release. And CRH is released quickly. It suppresses our appetite when it's released, and then it gets broken down quickly by the body and dissipates quickly. When we're being hyperphagic, it's a different chemical that is also generated when we're stressed, and these are called glucocorticoids. They stimulate appetite, preferentially for starchy, fatty and sugary foods to give us more energy. They're released more slowly, and they act more slowly and hang around in the body for longer. So let's now look at how the impact of stress causes our appetite to increase, looking particularly at the way that the intermittent regular stressors of the 21st century increase our appetite. So you wake up late, and that causes you to be stressed. CRH is released by the body, which suppresses appetite for 10 or 15 minutes. A few minutes later, glucocorticoids are released, and they hang around for hours, increasing appetite for fatty and sugary foods. So we grab a cookie or a donut with our coffee as we rush to the station. The traffic clears, and you realise that actually, even though you got up late, you won't be late, so your stress reduces. The CRH disappears from your system. That's the bit that might suppress your appetite. The glucocorticoids hang around, making us more hungry. You get to work, and there's an email from your boss with an ominous title. Your stress suddenly increases. Your CRH goes up. There's a little suppression of appetite. Then glucocorticoids are released after the stressor, increasing appetite. It's okay. The email wasn't addressed to you. You were just copied in, so your stress reduces. But those glucocorticoids hang around for a bit longer, increasing our appetite during the course of the day. The third answer to the question, why is it so hard to lose weight? Poor sleep leads to weight gain. If we don't sleep, our brain interprets tiredness as hunger and eats more to provide more energy. Shocking, upsetting. And so why is it so hard to lose weight? Answer 4, calories in, calories out, and our weight set point. Now, if you look at diet books, they talk a lot about making sure your calories out are greater than your calories in, and that's right, but it's not a thermodynamic equation. It's not basic like that, because there's also homeostasis involved. The body is working to manage a weight set point. Over the course of our lives, our weight set point, the weight our body is aiming itself at might shift, particularly if we eat lots of UPF, but we need to make sure we're aware where our weight set point is. We can eat more natural foods in particular ways, which we can talk to you about, which will help us lower our weight set point, and obviously use calories in, calories out to manage the process of slowly but surely losing weight. And we can help you design diets that support that process. Why is it so hard to lose weight? Answer 5, we don't move enough. We sit about way too much. Exercise, incredibly powerful for our physical health, is also incredibly powerful for our brain as well. We can support you build a fantastic exercise habit. Look at all of these amazing benefits of exercise. Incredibly powerful for psychological, physiological, physical and mental health. If you have watched this video and think, I want some help to lose weight, I want to help to improve my sleep, I want some help to improve my exercise, we can support you with a group of behaviors that are threaded together in daily life experiments to help you change your brain, which will change your mind, which will change your world. And here is the Healthy Eating Net. I'm not going to walk you through all the details now. That's for the one-to-one coaching process, but we'll work with you to work you through these threads. You don't have to do every single thread in the net. You do the ones that are relevant to you, and we'll support you and help you build these habits to change your weight set point, to improve your healthy eating habits and support you to lose that weight. Thanks for listening. Morning, welcome to today's well-being workout. Remember, the focus is well-being is a skill. The mission is to build mental flexibility and for us to all understand that being a neuroninja means using the